After splitting the first two meetings, the league's newest derby comes to a crescendo tonight. It is the third and final installment in 2023 of the Smoky Mountain Smackdown, brought to you by KUB, as Chattanooga Red Wolves take on one Knoxville here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So happy to have all of you with us on ESPN+. John Gross with you as we take a look at the league table, brought to you by PYA. As you see, Northern Colorado Hailstorm atop the table. These two teams below the playoff line. Some work to do. One Knoxville just below the playoff line. Chattanooga Red Wolves right now sitting in the cellar. But a lot of soccer left to be played this season, and a chance to turn things around, starting with a rivalry tonight. Well, one Knoxville, after a pretty strong start to the season, have lost form as of late. Winless in 6 consecutive matches entering tonight, 0-3-3 during that stretch. And maybe fatigue a bit of a factor. This is the 5th match in 14 days for the first-year squad. They've had some players miss some time, haven't been healthy for much of this stretch of the season, but a chance tonight to claim the rivalry series and to get back in the win column to try to snap this 6-match losing streak. It's been challenging for them. You see that last match against Union Omaha, a 2-1 loss, as they remain winless in 6 in a row, conceding a Dion Akoff stoppage time goal despite having a man advantage late. And to the flip side for Chattanooga, similar tone as this season has progressed. Winless in 6 in a row. They've made that coaching change. Jimmy Weekly in his 2nd year as the interim head man. Listen, this is a team that had struggled early in the season. Those struggles have continued. Just 3 wins in the year, and as you see over the last 10, they've been outscored 21-10. Some changes in the lineup perhaps can spark some changes in results, but they'll look to pick up 3 points tonight. Again, winless in 6 consecutive matches and in search of a first road result of the season. Well, rivalries are always fun, and one Knoxville's brand new mascot, Sweeper, is ready for action as well. We'll have kickoff and lineups for you in just a few minutes. One Knoxville and Chattanooga Red Wolves, presented by KUB Fiber, next.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here at Regal Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, these two squads making their way onto the pitch. The 3rd and final installment in year 1 of the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. The two teams split the first 2 meetings, including the last match. It was one Knoxville who came out on top, and it was early success in that match. The second-minute goal by Callum Johnson. In the 40th minute, Jake Keegan got into the action as well. They really left no doubt in that match after dropping the first meeting of the season. It was a 2-1 win for Chattanooga in the victory. You see some of those highlights right there. In this battle of the state of Tennessee, the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. Love that name. Here's a look at the starting 11 for these two squads as we get you set for one Knoxville and Chattanooga. Starting 11 brought to you by UT Medical Center. This is the look for head coach Mark McKeever and company. Again, the 5th match in 14 days. And the one major note here, look down low in the keeper's spot. Peter Swinkles remains as the starting keeper. Sean Lewis out again today after that collision against North Carolina. And for Jamie Weekley, his second stint as the interim head man for Chattanooga Red Wolves. His squad winless in 6 in a row, looking for that first road victory. And it's Ricardo Harris who gets the start in net after Carlos Aviles was shown a double yellow last time out. So he is suspended for this matchup. For Papa Mensah spearheads the formation at top with 4 goals and 1 assist. So the third and final meeting of the season between these squads. The birth of a derby, an in-state rivalry. I talked to Mark McKeever about just the general importance of rivalries when it comes to this great sport in terms of building a culture. And he was quick to point out that, hey, we're not focusing on a rivalry. We treat every single opponent and every match like a rivalry. But from a strictly footballing perspective, in general, rivalries surely benefit the sport. It creates energy and excitement amongst the fans, and that is exactly what we have seen this season between these two fan bases. And it comes to a head tonight in Knoxville, Tennessee. There is Angelo Kelly, reigning Team of the Week selection. Had a brace a week ago in the Knoxville midweek match. On the losing end of a decision against league-leading Northern Colorado. Either way, he's really seen his production uptick as of late. Chattanooga won the first meeting. Knoxville won the second meeting. Here we go. Meeting number 3 in 2023 of the Smoky Mountain Smackdown here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Thrilled to have you all along for the ride. John Gross with you on ESPN+. One Knoxville 5-7-7, winless in 6 in a row. This is the 5th match in 14 days for Mark McKeever's squad. Chattanooga also without a win in its last 6. Three 10-4 in the season for last place Chattanooga Red Wolves. However, they have played to date the toughest schedule as Villalobos has the interception, the former Red Wolf. There's Calixtro. Back to Gio Calixtro, one of the newcomers in this Knoxville squad. And it will be an early corner kick. We showed you just a couple minutes ago what happened last time these two teams played. It was in the 2nd minute. One Knoxville broke through on a Callum Johnson goal. As Derek Waldeck makes his way to the corner flag. Team best 3 assists on the season. In-swinger from the lefty. And we'll head to the opposite. As Waldeck lifts it in. Flicked out of there, Villalobos off the half volley. Shanked it. A couple threatening moments early for one Knoxville. Let's look back at this last corner kick. Pretty well-placed ball by Waldeck. Did find the head of his teammate. Villalobos not quite able to strike it goalward. Villalobos, who spent last season with Chattanooga Red Wolves. Mark McKeever, in fact, said that he was one of his favorite players to watch in League One last year. McKeever, who was the head coach of Knoxville a season ago when they were a member of USL League Two. And the first whistle from Austin Saney, our match referee tonight. There's Nico Cardona, second-year Chattanooga man. A consistent figure on the Puerto Rican national team, including captaining the squad twice in World Cup qualifiers during the last cycle. Off the free kick. Cardona will watch it trickle over the end line. Well, you look at this Knoxville squad. They've struggled defending early at times in matches, have conceded a league worst 5 goals in the first 15 minutes of matches. We'll see if Chattanooga can capitalize on that. And this high press, fruitful. Here's Keegan. Kelly. Waldeck now. Waldeck has space. Waldeck blast, takes a deflection off of Illich. And a goal kick on the way for Ricardo Jerez. Well, Knox able to win the ball back off the goal kick. That actually took 2 deflections. Clearly last off of Illich. Again, this high press causing some issues for Chattanooga. Another giveaway. Knoxville coming off of that 2-1 defeat at the hands of Union Omaha. Union Omaha's side really in stride as of late, who's won 4 of its last 5. There's Lombardi. First touch we've seen for the visitors in the Knoxville half of the pitch. Quickly tossed in. Finds that of Marsh. And nothing more than that. First touch of the day for Peter Swinkles. His 4th consecutive start. A first-year pro. Called upon once again with Sean Lewis out after that collision against North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. Here's Waldeck. Kelly couldn't quite track after it. Marsh got a toe on it. And again, a giveaway as Kelly surges forward. Villalobos now. Calixtro works it wide. Space to work with, skipped in. And it did take a deflection. Another corner kick coming. Six and a half minutes for Knox. This time they play it short. Comes back to Waldeck. Calixtro tracks after it. Calixtro pops it centrally. It found the head of Danny Fernandez, who scored his first pro goal last match. No luck there. Another threatening moment. You saw Sean O'Hearn chop it ahead, not quite at the same page, but Calixtro did well to track after it. Well-placed ball. Found the head of the 6'1 Fernandez. Nothing more to show for it. And a pretty hard challenge. It's for Papa Mensah. culprit. You look back to that 2-win loss last time out against Union Omaha for Knoxville. Mark McKeever said they just underachieved in that one. It was not their best performance. They're not going to use the schedule congestion as any sort of excuse. And this far today, Knox have looked fresh as can be. As Cardona nods it back to Jerez. Paoli under some pressure. Chattanooga, they've been battled all season. Knoxville a bit more as of late. Here are the players who are officially out entering today, brought to you by University Orthopedic Surgeons. James Thomas listed as out for Knoxville. 3 players listed as out for Chattanooga. A total of 10 players were listed on the availability report as out, questionable, or probable. That includes Carlos Aviles, the keeper who was suspended for this match after picking up 2 yellow cards last time out against Tormenta in the 4-2 loss. Here's Lombardi. Lombardi rolls ahead for Marsh. Cut out well by Jordan Skelton. And one note to add to that for Knoxville. These players not just out today, but no longer on the squad. Ahinga Selemani and Seba Andreasen. Both players have departed the squad as of this week. McKeever wasn't even sure if he'd have an 18 to work with today. Waldeck. Not the best ball. And a giveaway once again. Cali was the one who created it. Illich slips it for Villalobos. Waldeck now. Waldeck, the lead leader, and crosses. Waldeck's ball towards the backside. Illich couldn't quite get there. Muscled away by Riley Kraft. Striker by trade, playing left back. As Kraft gives it away, it's O'Hearn who scoops it up. O'Hearn somehow stays on it. Calixtro now, one of the newcomers. Calixtro rolls it centrally, back to Villalobos! He scores! Against his former club! Jimmy Villalobos, his second of the season, and he puts his side in front. Calixtro found the foot of Keegan, who knocks it right back to Villalobos, edge of the 18, and just a gorgeous strike as he buries one against his former club. Only fitting. It's a Markman's Diamonds goal, and it comes in the 12th minute, courtesy of the former Red Wolf, Jimmy Villalobos. Mark McKeever said that Villalobos was one of his favorite League One players to watch. He was able to bring him onto the roster this season, and he has his second goal of this season, and Knox looking for more. Calixtro. Angelo Kelly. Waldeck. The 12th minute goal by Jimmy Villalobos. Former Red Wolf gives one Knox the edge in this Smoky Mountain smackdown. And another free kick on the way for the home side. He tried the lightning fast restart. Austin Saney said, not so fast. Derek Waldeck who stands over it. Facing a two-man wall. Waldeck curls centrally. Beautifully curled ball. Found the head of Jordan Skelton. And the 6'4" center back hit it a little too aerial. Skelton still searching for that first goal. A guy who Mark McKeever calls the backbone of consistency. Said he's been their most consistent player this season. As he anchors a back line that had been amongst the best in the league for much of the early portion of the season. To the first 13 matches, when Knoxville conceded just 11 goals. In the 6 matches since then, during this winless streak, they've conceded 12 goals. From less than 1 goal conceded per match over the first 13 to 2 goals conceded per outing over the last 6. Chattanooga not going to capitalize on that as Walefi shows off a bit of skill. The all-time appearance leader in Chattanooga history with now 92 as of today. The first bits of possession that we've seen from this Red Wolf squad in this Knoxville attacking area. Chattanooga coming off of a 4-2 loss against Tormenta, although they did play the final 51 minutes down a man after Carlos Aviles, Chattanooga's starting keeper, was shown his second yellow card. Didn't actually play too poorly considering the circumstances. They had things level early in the second half, and it was the Siobhan Marsh show at a brace in that one, and was named a Team of the Week because of it. A lovely through ball for Keegan, speeds towards it, and Renteria beats him to the spot. Marsh opens things up for Hernandez. Pedro Hernandez towards Lombardi. One of the only returning players on this roster from last year's runner-up squad. That's Peter Swinkle's first season as a pro. Mark McKeever says he has faith in his young keeper. Certainly some decision-making that has to improve. He's conceded some easy goals. Only a giveaway right there. But Calixto into some space as he finds Waldeck. Waldeck turns up the pitch. Kelly probing for options. Comes out to Villalobos, who got the party started back in the 12th. O'Hearn serves up across, looking towards Illich. Comes to Waldeck. Villalobos taps, comes back to Villalobos. Villalobos lifts in the area, and Kelly whistles. Header won by Fernandez. O'Hearn. Villalobos. As the Scruffs, the supporter section here at One Knox. Cheer on, it's Kelly. Into the 18. Villalobos has one already! A screamer is just off target. Watch how they cycle this one around. Keegan, quick touch as he finds Villalobos. And they have this Chattanooga side on its heels. As Lombardi wins the challenge. Quick restart. And Hernandez could not control. Villalobos. Villalobos punches long, chested down by O'Hearn. O'Hearn dances, well played by Kraft. Throw one of the way. Fernandez. Waldeck now. Waldeck flipped off of it by Hernandez. And a goal kick awarded, much to the frustration of the faithful here at Regal Stadium. If you're Mark McKeever, you have to like how intentional your squad's been. Yeah, they've possessed the ball a lot, but they're not just knocking it around to the back. They've found themselves in threatening moments from the get-go. And Mensah whistled for the foul, as Chrysler is in some pain. Chrysler winning all-league selection. As Austin Saney having a word with Rapapa Mensah. We figure if the Red Wolves are going to turn things around this season, they'll need that dynamic duo of Mensah and Marsh to continue to contribute. It was Marsh with a brace in the 4-2 loss against Tormenta earlier in the week. Team leading 5 goals for Siobhan Marsh, 4 goals this season for Mensah. Quick throw in, well placed to Keegan. Runs it back to Kelly. Switches to O'Hearn, heads down for Calixtro. Calixtro knocked off of it by Renteria. Marsh put off the face as Kraft races ahead. He's an attack-minded player, a striker by trade. And it will stay with the visitors. Lombardi looking for that whistle. Rowan Lombardi, second-year Red Wolf. Kraft sends it right at Villalobos. Early Kraft, one of the changes that we've seen as this season has progressed. He's a striker by trade. He's playing up front for much of the early portion of this season. as things have progressed. He has since been moved back to the back line. He's played the full 90 in his last 5 matches, 2 assists over his last 4. As Calixtro pulls it back out. Waldeck's feed. Quite hit the way he wanted it. Cardona under some serious duress. That's about all he could do. Send it back to Jerez, who had been out on international duty with the Guatemala national team. CONCACAF Gold Cup and Nations League. This is his first appearance since June 3rd. Mensah was offside. See if Chattanooga can maintain some possession. This is a squad that has been playing on its heels for much of this first 25 minutes. Walefi tapped ahead. Hernandez opens wide for Mensah. Mensah tracks after it, has Hernandez making a run. He finds him. Hernandez cross off the chest of Mensah. Mensah settles and strikes. And Swinkles calls off his teammates. Well, there was some promise for Chattanooga. It's Hernandez ball. That flutters to the chest of Mensah. You see Marsh on the left side pleading for it. Mensah took it himself. Either way, some promise in that moment for the visitors. Here is Marsh. Dances free. It's still Marsh. And finally taken off of it by Villalobos. Villalobos lays ahead, takes a deflection off towards Keegan. Villalobos once again. Waldeck looking for Illich, and they throw it out of the way. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Cardona has some trouble with it. Fernandez in the takeaway. Here is Calixtro. Oh, heavy touch from Gio Calixtro. Walefi, he turns it over. O'Hearn sweeping cross. Keegan took a tumble. As Walefi and company to lead a counter. And there's the whistle. And then Chrysler got a bit too physical. Here is Jimmy Villalobos, who scored back in the 12th minute, his second goal of the season. The former Chattanooga Red Wolf, who had 6 goals in 60 matches. He's a key piece of last year's runner-up squad. A routine starter in the central midfields under Jimmy Obleda and Jimmy Weekly. Both head coaches of Chattanooga last season. And of course, Jimmy Weekly has once again been tapped as the interim head man. The mid-season coaching change this year. Illich, back heel, finds Calixtro. O'Hearn. Skelton. Flip from behind. Can we see anything more than just a foul from Rapapa Mensah? Has been talked to once already. There's a closer look. Just brings that left leg in. Villalobos taken off of it by Marsh. Here is Mensah. Hernandez. Williams. Over to Kraft. There's Kelly. Through for Waldeck. Marked by Cardona. Cardona, the challenge. Well played by the right back. Waldeck was looking for a whistle, not granted one. And it is deemed as clean by Austin Saney on the slide tackle by Cardona. Let's get another look at this. There was a down one Knox player. Just past the half-hour mark. And we will see a change. It's Sean O'Hearn who is being tended to. And the Lancaster, Pennsylvania native will be replaced by Jan-Erik Leinhos, the German. And it will be a hydration break. It is toasty tonight. Pardon me, an injury break here for O'Hearn to be checked on. This does offer the squads an opportunity to cool off, chat things over with their respective coaching staffs. It is a nice night here in Knoxville. 77 degrees. as Jan-Erik Leinhos replaces Sean O'Hearn.
Number 40, Sean O'Hearn, entering field number 30, Jan-Erik Leinhos.
Leinhos, his 11th appearance of the season, 10th time as a substitute. He spent last season with USL Championship power Lou City, made just 4 appearances for the boys in purple. The German, a former Marshall standout, replaces a former Georgetown standout. So a couple of players who played at collegiate powerhouses swapping for one another. Keegan, a bit of pressure on Williams. Leinhos. Barty nearly came away with it. Extended pressure from the visitors. Here's Illich. Waldeck now. Waldeck drives one across, was searching for a streaking Keegan. Overcooked it just a bit. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Skelton feeds through Calixtro's feed, took a deflection off of Kraft as Paoli works it ahead. Leffy tried to chip down the line, and there is the whistle. As Villalobos upended Mensah. Renteria lifts long, and they're won by Fernandez. Waldeck muscled off of it by Cardona, surely a foul. Here's Illich, steps into space, through for Keegan, and he's offside. Keegan, the team leader in goals with 5 in the season. Former Greenville Triumph mainstay. His 3rd USL League One squad. Greenville and forward Madison, now with first-year club One Knoxville. Here's Lombardi. Green to work with. Lombardi, just not quite in the same page with Kraft. He thought Kraft would stay in that wide channel. He's making that angling run instead. Remember, it was a relatively recent change for Kraft into the back line. Peter Swinkles and company looking to preserve that clean sheet. Waldeck. Kelly switches for Leinholz. On Eric Leinholz, intended for Calixtro, instead scooped up by Kraft. Lombardi elevates towards Marsh. Leinholz. Elevated ball with relative ease by Walefi as Mensah settles, unable to kickstart the counter. Instead it's Waldeck. Villalobos now. Leinholz one-on-one with Kraft. The German goes to work. His cross is high pointed by Jerez. Eighth start of the season for Jerez. His first appearance since June 3rd. He's been on international duty with the Guatemala national team. Approaching the final 5 or so minutes of this first 45. First half that has been controlled possession-wise by the home side. How about 65% possession for one Knoxville? They were rewarded with that relatively early goal by Jimmy Villalobos. Hernandez knocked off of it by Fernandez. Keegan searching for options. Tries to switch. Just down by Kraft. Lombardi now. Works one-on-one. His cross! Well, as this first half has progressed, we've certainly seen a bit more from Chattanooga. We'll look back at this last build-up. Lombardi one-on-one with Chrysler. Rowan Lombardi, second-year Chattanooga man. Did not play against Tormenta. His 15th start of the season. Born in Argentina, but moved to the U.S. at the age of 6. Collegiately at the University of San Francisco, the Dons men's soccer program. Down player here at Regal Stadium. We'll get back to it. Final few minutes of this first 45, and the third and final installment of the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. These two sides split the first two meetings. As you see, Rapapa Mensah, bottom of your screen. And he has been released by our fourth official, Joshua Belk. Waldeck. Oh, that is beautiful. Chrysler. Driven ball towards Waldeck, and Cardona wins it in the air. Well, Derek Waldeck wants to show off a bit of skill. showing off that nutmeg ability. Pretty good recovery, though, by Chattanooga to prevent anything beyond that brief highlight from Derek Waldeck, who has been so active today, as he's been all season. Throughout the season, has been at or near the top of the league in crosses. As Fernandez scoops up the interception, muscles his way forward. Danny Fernandez rolls one across, and it's cut away. Williams, the right man at the right time for Chattanooga. You see Danny Fernandez's ability. He's a fan favorite. He was on the USL League Two squad for One Knoxville last season. Now in his first year as a pro. There's Fernandez. Skelton. Center back to center back. Skelton to Chrysler. Tough to find a more highly touted center back duo in this league than those two. As Lineholz steps into space. Waldeck. His cross takes the deflection off of Hernandez. And a corner kick on the way.
One Knoxville corner kick.
Initial indications suggest 2 minutes of added time as we wind down this first half. That has been dominated by One Knoxville, although still just a 1-0 scoreline. Waldeck again at the corner flag. Low cross. Knocked out of there by Mensah. Here is Illich. Illich, oh, the back heel finds Kelly. Taps it back, a strike from Villalobos. Clears the crossbar. That one would have been in the running for goal of the week. Just the build-up, the back heel. Kelly finds Villalobos, his one-time strike, just a bit high.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum 2 minutes of first.
And there you see it, 2 minutes of added time. Villalobos nearly a brace against his former club. Waldeck heads it in play. Cardona speeds to it. And Kelly is fouled by Hernandez. Waldeck stares down. A massive humanity at the edge of the 18. Lifted ball from Waldeck. And it's headed off target by Skelton. Kelly wins it in the air. Calixto on the second ball. Settled by Cardona. And a bit too heavy of a feed. On target toward Siobhan Marsh. And there is the whistle from Austin Saney. We are through 45 minutes. And despite a dominant half statistically for One Knox, the scoreline's still a close one. And the third installment of the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. And it was that man right there, Jimmy Villalobos, his second of the season. And he does it against his former club. 1-0 to score through 45 minutes as we enter halftime in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was a fun first half, at Regal Stadium. A derby on this Saturday evening. Halftime brought to you by KUB Fiber. Stick with us. This is USL League One on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
It's halftime in Knoxville, Tennessee as we move through the week in USL League One. Brad Klein looks back at a pair of wild midweek matchups.
Oh, the midweek matchups never disappoint in League One. One Knoxville and Union Omaha doing battle on Tuesday. 10th minute, and one Knoxville not wasting any time, but looked like Union Omaha was going to clear this away. Not so much. Danny Fernandez makes it 1-0 in favor of the home club. But only 5 minutes later, how about Junior Palacios? A free kick score, we're even at 1-1. Red card for Luca Mastrantonio in the 82nd minute. So now Union Omaha playing with 10 men. You would think, okay, walk away on the road with 1 point. You're happy with that, right? But not so much. Let's go to the 94th minute. Union Omaha not satisfied, playing with 10 men, and Dion Acuff nets it. The game winner, 2-1 in favor of Union Omaha, and now 6 consecutive matches without a win for one Knoxville. That was Tuesday. This was Wednesday. Charlotte hosting Greenville, and wow, what a performance for Jared Mazzola. It was just frustrating. You continue to hit your head against a brick wall, waiting for the bricks to break. Doesn't happen. Omar Sis, Tresser, and Buyu, they had great looks, peppering Mazzola, but the keeper had a club record 9 saves for the triumph, and Evan Lee gets a look here right at the top of the 18. Can't connect on Austin Pack. We go to stoppage time right now. No score, we're level. 95th minute, the clock is ticking. But how about this? Mazzola, only so much he can do, makes the initial save. The rebound score goes to Clay Dimmick, and that is how Charlotte walks away with a 1-0 win. Heartbreaker for Greenville, but a big-time win for the Independents right there. Don't go anywhere. The League One family is growing, and we're going to tell you more about that after a quick break right here on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Colorado Springs, Enriquez, header down Oxford! Jimmy Oxford gets one back for Colorado Springs!
Well, on the goal line, that second one finds Twine! And Philip Goodrum in the 89th minute with the potential game-winning goal.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
And as you just saw, a brand new club coming to USL League One starting next season, the Spokane Velocity. They'll kick things off in 2024 at the brand new One Spokane Stadium. And the Velocity aren't the only new side coming into the league next year. 14 squads in all. That is a league record. Will compete in USL League One in 2024. Spokane Velocity and Santa Barbara Sky, the two newcomers. And congratulations to Arthur Rogers, the reigning Defender of the Year. Made some history, became just the 5th USL League One player with 3 assists in a single match. He is the reigning Week 18 Player of the Week, and as you see, a pair of players from this match involved in the Team of the Week as well. Angelo Kelly and Siobhan Marsh, both of whom had braces last week. Here's a look at the USL League One table brought to you by PYA. And as you see, not a whole lot of separation in the upper portion of the table. Northern Colorado Hailstorm sitting in first place on 32, but look how many teams are well within striking distance of them. And you look at the two squads in this match. One Knoxville sitting in 8th place just below the playoff line, while Chattanooga Red Wolves looking to make a late season push right now in 12th. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule, and we start with a pair of midweek fixtures on Wednesday. Let's hope that those two midweek matches are as exciting as what we saw a couple days ago, earlier this week. All of these matches can be seen on ESPN+, and the weekend concludes with a quartet of fixtures on Saturday. Back after this from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Colorado Springs, Enriquez, header down Oxford! Jimmy Oxford gets one back for Colorado Springs!
Away on the goal line, and second one finds Twine! And Philip Goodrum in the 89th minute, the potential game-winning goal!
Back here at Regal Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. The third and final installment of the Smoky Mountains Smackdown brought to you by KUB Fiber. 1-0 at halftime. Let's take a look at how the first 45 minutes went down in this Smackdown showdown. 1 Knox, Chattanooga Red Wolves. You start things off early. Calixtro flicks one across. Remember that name, Gio Calixtro, in that general area that he just served that ball up from. This was really the trend in the first 20 or so minutes of this match. Just constant possession in that final third for 1 Knox. Then at the 12th minute, again it's Calixtro. That same spot. Rolls central, comes to Keegan. One times it back to Villalobos, and he scores against his former club. Jimmy Villalobos, a mainstay for Chattanooga the last few seasons. He blasts one in against his former side to take that 1-0 advantage. Looking for some set-piece magic as the first half progressed. Another threatening moment, though, as it found the head of Skelton. This was the theme. A lot of chances, a lot of possession in that attacking third. And this was one of the better looks, again, that we saw. Great cycling around the 18. Comes out to Keegan, who finds Villalobos, and he just clears the crossbar. So 1-0 is the score through the first 45 minutes of action. And here's a look at the first half statistics between these two sides. And yeah, if you watch the first half, this is pretty much what you'd expect. 65% possession, 9 shots. However, just 1 shot on target, and that's the saving grace for Chattanooga. They were dominated on the pitch in many ways, but they're only down by 1 goal, and that's all that matters. So there is still very much a window of opportunity for Chattanooga Red Wolves to pick up their first road point of the season. They are 0-8-0 outside of CHI Memorial Stadium on the year. We'll see if they can turn things around in the final 45 minutes of this Smoky Mountain Smackdown. One of the brand new derbies in League One, as we talked about in the first half. Just going off of what Mark McKeever was saying, his team doesn't treat this any differently than any other match. But when it comes to the fans, when it comes to the culture, when it comes to everything surrounding the actual match itself, rivalries are great, benefits the sport. And it's a great way to grow the game, grow the league in the state of Tennessee. These two clubs have taken residence and have created this derby. It was Chattanooga who won back on April 8th, 2-1, behind goals from Andrew Paoli and Walter Varela. And then 1 Knoxville responded right here at Regal Stadium, a 2-0 victory. Both goals came in the first half of action, courtesy of Callum Johnson and Jake Egan. So the home team has won the previous 2 installments. We have 45 minutes left to play. Will either side claim the series? And will the series be split with the draw tonight? A couple of sides winless in 6 consecutive matches. They're going to turn their fortunes around. 1 Knoxville with a win could draw level on points for 5th place, depending on what happens around the league tonight. Meanwhile, Chattanooga certainly with its work cut out for them at the bottom of the table, but long season left to go. And hey, no better way to start a run of success than against your rivals. Danny Fernandez carries into the attacking third. Waldeck rolls one across, and Walefi able to whisk it out of danger. We thank all of you for joining us on ESPN Plus. John Gross with you for this rivalry showdown. Jalen Chrysler. Linehouse was brought on after an injury to Sean O'Hearn in that first half. So when Knoxville got that 12-minute goal from Villalobos, but you look at these two teams on the season. When Knoxville have lost 12 points from winning positions. That is most in League One. On the flip side, Chattanooga have won the most points from a losing position with 9. Something that could bode well for Jimmy Weekly's squad tonight. And their first foul of the second half. USL's second annual summer showcase signals the start of the sprint to the finish. Philip Goodrum and FC Tulsa head out west to face Romario Williams and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. FC Tulsa and Switchbacks FC Wednesday, August 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Should be a fun one out west. Couple of weeks. Teams making their postseason pushes. Still a lot of soccer left to be played, but things starting to take shape. And hey, how about a big congratulations to Indy 11, who just claimed the USL League title with a victory at home. As Lombardi creeps into space, Rowan Lombardi dances towards the byline, pops one across. Found the head of Hernandez and nothing more than that. This perhaps the most promising moment that we've seen today. Lombardi, his jersey being tugged, able to work one across. There's 14 on 14, and it's Hernandez who wins the aerial duel against his former teammate Jimmy Villalobos. Villalobos elevates for Linehouse. Well-placed ball. Again, Villalobos. Waldeck. Chrysler has to skip one through. Ricochets off of Lombardi. Calixto the box out. Walefi muscles him off of it. And Walefi is ripped down by Gio Calixto. Walefi, the captain, the longest tenured member of this Chattanooga squad, his 92nd appearance. He's been with the club since its inaugural season back in 2019. Only giveaway To Marsh. Lighthouse. Oh, that is gorgeous. Illich. 2 on his left. Illich rolls across. Cardona was going stride for stride with Jake Keegan. Lovely ball from Lighthouse, who again receives it. Let's see what the German can do here. His cross off the head of Cardona. Settled by Villalobos. Fernandez. Waldeck now. Waldeck. Keegan lets it roll through. Calixtro chops ahead. Illich off target. Ilya Illich. This lovely bit of possession created space. There was that overlapping run and drew Renteria away from him and opened the window for the captain, who is also an assistant coach. He's a player, a captain, assistant coach, and he wears many hats, the 32-year-old from Serbia. After missing about a month and a half of action, he scored 3 goals since then. Waldeck into space. Skips one across. And Illich shrinking. Well played by Jerez. Paoli launches. That is gorgeous. Solid first touch by Hernandez. Mensah. Sit wide. Kenny Fernandez. Illich couldn't quite chest it down while Leffy goes down, and he's won a free kick. There hasn't been much in the attacking third for Chattanooga Red Wolves tonight, but as the saying goes, set piece is the great equalizer. That hold true right here. As Marsh and Kraft angle behind it. It is Riley Kraft. He lifts one on. It found Mensah. And a goal kick coming for Peter Swinkles. Leffy, talked about it before, as experienced as you'll find in this league. He's seen a lot of success in his time with the Red Wolves, including a runner-up finish a season ago, falling just short in the final against Tormenta. Fernandez. Waldeck. Double teamed. And ripped down at the midline. Waldeck To roll it ahead for Illich. Whereas perfectly played ball to Lombardi. Both squads riding 6-match winless streaks entering tonight. There's Walefi. Madonna, his feet intercepted. And you wonder, as this match progresses, maybe a window of opportunity for Chattanooga, considering Knoxville are in the midst of a 5th match in 14 days. Perhaps fatigue will set in a bit later. As of now, it's been a fairly lopsided match in terms of control of the ball. There's Paoli. Renteria gives it away. Illich now. Just a bit out of the reach of Calixtro. Here is Mensah. Taken off of it. Clean challenge by Kelly. Illich on the move, leaves it for Angelo Kelly. Numbers for the home side. Here's Lineholz. Lineholz rolls across. Renteria redirects it. Lombardi now. Towards Rapapa Mensah. Skelton running out of options. Pretty good pressure by Mensah. One Knox able to work out of danger. Lineholz. Interception. It's Kraft. Probes for options. And again, takeaway. Calixtro, Keegan, finds Villalobos. Lineholz now. Lineholz lifts one across, settled by Waldeck. Fernandez. Calixtro with the left, off target and unscathed. Williams keeps it long. Skelton not the best ball back to Swinkles. As he stumbles down, still able to knock it deep. Here's Marsh, with a brace last week, and Marsh goes down and a free kick has been awarded. And it's more than just a free kick, a card has been shown. Much to the frustration of the home faithful, Danny Fernandez has been booked at the hour mark. See Marsh.
Yellow card issued in
Fernandez
the 60th minute.
alongside him.
One Knoxville, number 13, Danny.
And a yellow card against Danny Fernandez. Back-to-back matches with the yellow for the first-year professional. Hefty distance away from goal, but a young and relatively inexperienced keeper in net. Do you dare test Peter Swinkles? Kraft and Marsh. Kraft takes it. He does test Swinkles, and he finds success. A smashing strike in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown, and we are level at 1. Riley Kraft, that is special. That is special.
Goal scored in the 61st minute by Chattanooga number 98.
And you thought maybe there's a chance. It's from a distance. But with the young keeper and Swinkles in net, do you dare test him? Riley Kraft said yes. It's his first of the season, and it's absolutely gorgeous. 62nd minute, Riley Kraft. And we have a brand new ball game, folks. Just about 30 minutes to go in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. And the excitement of the pitch has lived up to the epic nickname for this derby. One Knox looking to get one back in a hurry. Waldeck volleys. Oh, that was almost in. Frank Ross, right after that goal, was just inserted for Ilya Illich.
Chattanooga substitution exiting the field, number 20, Ropapa Mensa. Entering for him, number 17, Omar Gomez.
And a change for Chattanooga now. Omar Gomez heads on. He replaces Rapapa Mensah. Fourth appearance of this season for Gomez, who was signed in late June. Walefi lifts long. Lombardi hustles after it. Will be a throw in. Alan Johnson also entered for Knoxville, replacing Gio Calixtro. And the press is on for Chattanooga, and they win it back. Here's Lombardi, taken off of it by Skelton, and a corner kick awarded. Chattanooga faithful, you see them bottom of your screen, who have traveled across the state, making some noise. They feel a turning of the tides. Is this the moment that they break through for the second time? Riley Kraft, who just scored that scorcher from the corner flag now. Elevated ball, back post! Did it take a deflection? It did not. Mile-high service from Kraft. And Cardona handed it out. Siobhan Marsh was just shown a yellow. So Marsh has been booked. And a giveaway. Here is Walefi. Hernandez lifts it. Gomez heads centrally. Swinkles tested. There's this build up. Hernandez switching fields, finds Gomez. Swinkles got his paws on it. It was cleared away in the nick of time. Lovely 1-2. Here's Cardona. Back towards Marsh. Cardona back on it. Now it's Hernandez. Skelton, risky to clear it centrally like that, but it does pay off as Kelly races into space. Has a runner on his right. It's Lineholz. Lineholz's feed. Callum Johnson. He did it last meeting. He's done it again. His fingerprints all over the Smoky Mountain smackdown, and it's 2-1 Knoxville. Against the run of play, one Knoxville, beautiful counter. Kelly kick-started it. The cross from Lineholz as he finds Johnson. And the one-time strike rolls past Jerez. It's a markman's goal, and it's 2-1, one Knox. Scored in the second minute last meeting in the 2-0 victory right here at Regal Stadium. Tonight, a little bit later, but a goal nonetheless. And an all-important go-ahead finish. And we're back to where we were earlier in this half. 1-goal lead for one Knoxville. Here's Kelly, looking to add to the edge. Frank Ross now. Options to cross to. Ross's ball! Renteria able to step in front. Actually did come off of Johnson. Ross, acres of space to work with. Skipped one through. There is Callum Johnson. His second goal of the season, both against the rivals. And surely a card. Derek Waldeck shown a yellow.
Yellow card issued in the 69th minute to one Knoxville, Derek Waldeck.
Waldeck has been booked after that last tackle. Barty, a bit of contact, take a deflection. It will be a throw for the Red Wolves. Chrysler, that's for a pretty clear foul. There's Kraft who scored that screamer of a goal on a direct free kick a while ago. 61st minute goal by Kraft. Just 6 minutes later, the 67th minute goal by Callum Johnson. Hernandez. Nice to win it back. Not for long. Villalobos. Johnson. The 67th minute goal. The difference maker this far. Jimmy Villalobos got the party started back in the 11th. Riley Kraft, the 61st minute goal for Chattanooga, sandwiched between those two. Here is Walefi. Slips it long. Gomez rolls through from Marsh, and Swinkles is all over it. Riley Kraft, 61st minute goal. Tested Peter Swinkles, and he passed that test with flying colors. Just a lovely strike. 30 plus yards out. Gomez applies the pressure. Gomez, formerly of the City Red Wolves, the USL League Two affiliate. Chattanooga. The appearance of the season for Gomez. Here he is once again. Through for Marsh. Marsh looking to equalize. Marsh goes down. And a point to the spot. Gomez, really nice ball. Marsh goes down. Both Skelton and Swinkles were alongside him. And a chance to equalize in the later stages of this one. Siobhan Marsh scored last time out for Chattanooga from the penalty spot. In fact, it was a brace. Now Danny Fernandez trying to get in his face and distract him a bit, and you see the secret service of Siobhan Marsh and Pedro Hernandez. And Omar Gomez blocking Fernandez from distracting the soon-to-be penalty kick taker. Marsh is 1 for 1 on PKs this season. One attempt came last match against Tormenta. Marsh to equalize in this rivalry matchup. Clinical. Siobhan Marsh. Calm from the spot. And we are deadlocked at 2. Made it look effortless. Swinkles gets the wrong direction. Siobhan Marsh, his 6th goal of the season. Back-to-back matches with the penalty kick goal. And the Jamaican international has his side level. Jordan Skelton, in the mix of all of that, picked up a yellow card. And I talked about it earlier. But Chattanooga's ability to battle back at times this season has been evident. They lead the league in most points won from a losing position with 9. Opposite side of the coin for one Knoxville. They have lost the most points from a winning position in the league with 12 points lost from a winning spot. And we are level at 2. Twice today, Chattanooga Red Wolves have battled back from a goal deficit to tie. Inside the final 15 minutes of what has been an epic Smoky Mountain smackdown. There's Jordan Skelton, who again shown that yellow card. Leinholz a bit sloppy with it along the touchline. Here was Gomez. quite get it back to Lombardi, but let's not forget Omar Gomez and what he just did in the midst of all of that. It was his ball that set up the penalty kick. Lovely feed to Siobhan Marsh, making that run. He was then fouled inside the box. Kelly surges. Kelly is whistled for the foul. As Cardona is down, and Kelly's shown a yellow. And it was not for the foul, but it was for his kicking of the ball after the whistle. We saw Austin Saney point over to the ball that he kicked, and Angelo Kelly's been shown yellow.
77th minute, issued to number 8, Angelo Kelly for one Knoxville.
So Kelly's been booked. Angelo Kelly, reigning Team of the Week honoree. Going down one Knox player. Will be 10-2. Battle this has been. And a couple of changes on the way, one for each side. Walter Varela will head on for Chattanooga. And it's Gabriel Claudio, who did not play in the last 5 matches. He will enter for Danny Fernandez. Claudio, second-year pro, spent last season with Union Omaha.
One Knoxville substitution, exiting the field, number 13, Danny Fernandez. Entering number 55, Gabriel Claudio.
Gabriel Claudio heads on, as does Walter Varela, native of Cape Verde. Replaces Pedro Hernandez. Varela back on the pitch after not playing against Tormenta last match for the Red Wolves.
Exiting the field, number 14, Pedro Hernandez. Entering number 15, Walter Varela.
And there he is, Walter Varela. Spent last season under former Chattanooga headman Ziggy Korotowski. In fact, Ziggy being in Chattanooga was a big reason why Walter joined the Red Wolves. Mid-season coaching change. Now it's Jimmy Weekly in charge. His squad looking for a first road point of the season and to snap a 6-match winless streak. There's Gomez. Drives one across. Gomez finds Marsh for the lead. Yes! Chattanooga Red Wolves come howling back and have snatched a 3-2 lead in the 80th minute. A remarkable rally. It's Siobhan Marsh, back-to-back matches with a brace. And what do you know, it's Omar Gomez again on the distributing end of that. Gomez, the one who found Marsh on that overlapping run which resulted in the penalty kick. This time serves one up and he connects with Siobhan Marsh, who, as you see, is limping. Back-to-back matches with a brace. And improbably, Chattanooga in the driver's seat in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown.
Yellow card issued to number 11, Siobhan Marsh for Chattanooga.
So Siobhan Marsh was just shown a yellow card. And he is down to the ground. He was just motioning to get subbed off. Johnson lifts one across towards Ross. Knocked away by Jerez, and Lineholz lifts it well over the crossbar, and now Jerez is down. See the lovely touch out wide to Callum Johnson. Scoots one across to Ross, and Lineholz with Jerez on the ground. Overhit it. Now Jerez is injured, holding his face. So Jerez down, Siobhan Marsh down. And important to note here, Carlos Aviles is suspended for this match. Aviles and Jerez have been the two main keepers for Chattanooga this season. But last weekend against Tormenta, Carlos Aviles picked up 2 yellow cards in the first 39 minutes of the match. So J.D. Myers is the backup keeper who made his pro debut against Tormenta. Marsh getting stretched out. It appears as if he will be subbed out. Now the question is, what will happen with Ricardo Jerez? See him holding that left side of his face, that jaw area. Saney chats with Jerez. He will remain on the pitch. His squad minutes away from snapping a 6-match winless streak, giving Jimmy Weekley his first victory as the interim head man this season, and claiming points on the road for the first time this year. If this result holds, it would mean now 12 points won from a losing position for Chattanooga this season, which just adds to the league lead for the Red Wolves.
Chattanooga substitutions exiting the field, number 11, Siobhan Marsh.
And Siobhan Marsh
entering number 3, Johnny
head out
Guadarrama.
in favor of
Also
Johnny
exiting
Guadarrama.
Number 98, Riley Kraft.
And Riley
He is
Kraft
replaced by
exits as
number
well.
10,
So
Mayele
both goal
Malongo.
scorers for Chattanooga off. Mayele Malongo, native of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, comes on the pitch in favor of Kraft. Kelly wins the aerial duel, as does Walefi. Nice touch for Guadarrama. Claudio muscled off of it. It's Gomez. Got a bit too physical. Villalobos scored earlier against his former club in a match that, for the lion's share of the first half, was completely dominated by Knoxville in really every category but the scoreboard. They led just 1-0 through the first 45. Felt like there could have been a few more goals. The offside flag is raised. And that window of opportunity allowed Chattanooga to stay in. And they battled back from a 1-0 deficit, then a 2-1 deficit, and have since taken a 3-2 advantage. Talked about it before, but you wonder if fatigue is settling in for One Knox. 5th match in 14 days. And there you see it. All 3 goals, 61st minute and later. It was Kraft from the free kick, 30-plus yards out, straight on. Then Siobhan Marsh from the penalty spot. And then Siobhan Marsh once again to the run of play. Claudio. Well, Knoxville, they got the party started. Jimmy Villalobos back in the 11th to take the 1-0 lead. And a 2-1 lead courtesy of the substitute, Callum Johnson. Now they need 1 to level. And they too, like Chattanooga, riding a 6-match winless streak. However, they find themselves in a much better place in the table. A win, depending on other results, could draw them level for as high as 5th place on points. Through ball, just out of the reach of Waldeck. Did it take a deflection? Waldeck, slow to his feet. Did not take a deflection. Lovely touch. There's Varela taken off of it by Claudio as Kelly lifts it long. Harris intent to run some clock. Approaching the 90th minute, but I would imagine we'll have a fairly sizable amount of stoppage time. Here's Kelly. Claudio now. Kelly again. Driven ball by Kelly, and Jerez is there. Thumbs up from Callum Johnson. He appreciates the effort from Angelo Kelly, trying to create something. Chattanooga, 3 goals, which is the most they've scored in a match since May 20th. Wild match against Union Omaha, the 3-3 draw. And as expected, a hefty total of stoppage time minutes, 8 minutes of added time. Here's Ross. Linehouse now. Chrysler. Eyes one up. Chrysler's ball towards Claudio. Stays in the area. And knocked away by Renteria.
The 4th official has indicated a minimum of 8
We have
minutes
entered
second half stoppage
a
time.
prolonged period of stoppage time. 8 minutes at least. Ross tries to curl one in. And Skelton cuts off the ankle of Malongo. Linehouse. Ramos once more. Lifts on. Gomez on the initial header. Ross dances. Ross has space. Ross knocked off of it by Renteria. No whistle, and now a chance to counter for Chattanooga. Played by Johnson. As Varela trying to turn the corner.
Fans, if you are the driver of a Toyota and you would like to use it to get home tonight, please check to make sure that you have your keys. If you are missing your keys, they are at the front gate.
Johnson.
Again, if you're missing your Toyota keys, they're at the front gate.
Replaces Shingard. Goal scored back in the 67th minute. Both goals that he scored this season have come at Regal Stadium against Chattanooga. Chrysler. Waldeck. Chrysler once more. Slips it ahead, looking for Villalobos. Contact. And a point to the corner flag.
One Knoxville corner kick.
Here's another look. Villalobos. Collision with Cardona. Two former teammates in Chattanooga. Corner kick on the way. A pair of 6'4" center backs stand in the area in Jordan Skelton and Jalen Chrysler for one Knoxville. Eric Waldeck in stoppage time. And first, Kelly and Guadarrama called to chat with Austin Saney. Number 4 and number 5, that's the duo of Chrysler and Skelton, both at 6'4", hovering right around the penalty mark. Those are the two to look out for. Waldeck lifts one. Waldeck's ball finds the head of Chrysler. Backheel attempt by Kelly. No. Still in the area. Up blast turned away. Comes out of the box. Lifted goalward. Fisted away by Jerez. Claudio pops it ahead. Claudio again takes the deflection. Here is Claudio. His strike ricochets off of Gomez. A frantic moment. And we need to look back at this. So it was Chrysler who won it. You saw Kelly's backheel attempt initially. That was blocked away. Then the strike turned away once more, popped in by Waldeck, fisted out of there by Jerez. Claudio was very involved in this mad scramble. We say at least 8 minutes of added time for a reason. I'd imagine we will see more than 8 minutes of added time given the handful of stoppages that we've seen in stoppage time. What a match this has been. And this is what you want to see when it comes to derbies. Intense, drama-filled, back and forth. Nico Cardona will have to head off the pitch momentarily as the medical staff came on to check him. Back to the action we go. Waldeck, elevated ball. Gomez wins it. Settled by Villalobos. Villalobos elevates ahead. Jerez goes airborne, got his paws on it, and it's curled out for another throw. And now it's Mikel Williams down. Saw Austin saying he point to his watch. Clearly talking about this stoppage time, out of time. Leinholz on the restart. Comes out to Gomez. Varela. And Ross got his toes on it. Toss by Malongo. He'll inch off the touchline. Chattanooga Red Wolves have not won since June 7th, a 2-0 win against Forward Madison at home. They have yet to record a single point outside of CHI Memorial Stadium. As Malongo turns into space, finds Guadarrama. Gomez now. Gomez turned away by Swinkles. A great save off the strike from Malongo. Peter Swinkles keeping his squad in this one. You also do have to appreciate Malongo's willingness to not just go to the corner flag. Instead of going to the corner flag, remained attack-minded. As Gomez, see here, trying to create something. He's been a master distributor today. And the Malongo strike turned away by Swinkles. Well done by the rookie keeper. The Knoxville squad chock full of first-year pros. Claudio wins it in the air. Naoli, unconvincing clearance. Leinholz. Approaching the 100th minute of this match. The Smoky Mountain Showdown. Down to the wire. Elevated ball from Waldeck. Flicked down to the area. Settled by Leinholz. Marked by Guadarrama. Leinholz drives in across. Headed out of the area. Only as deep as Johnson. Villalobos taken off of it. It's Gomez. Races ahead. Central, Malongo. No, Swinkles the save. There is still life for one Knoxville. Kelly lifts it long. Kelly's ball headed on. Is there a miracle in store? Towards Ross. It's just out of his reach. Jerez and Chattanooga pleading for the final whistles. And we will play on. 101st minute. An absolute classic. An absolute thriller. And the Smoky Mountain Smackdown is claimed in comeback fashion by the Chattanooga Red Wolves. 3-2 the final. They overcome multiple deficits. When they write the book about this derby, this is the one that they'll look to as the true first intense matchup between these sides. Absolute theatrics here at Regal Stadium. and one Knoxville.
Thank you so much for
Chattanooga
coming out
Red Wolves down to the wire, but the Red Wolves claim the victory to snap a 6-match winless streak. 3-2 is the final. Final score brought to you by KUB Fiber. What a match it was. And the visitors on the road not only snap a 6-match winless streak, but pick up a first road victory. Back after this on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
An absolute classic. And the Red Wolf faithful who traveled from Chattanooga, they are ecstatic. 3-2 final. Chattanooga, the come-from-behind victory. Final score brought to you by KUB Fiber as the Red Wolves claim the Smoky Mountain SmackDown series. Let's take a look back at how this went down. Hope everybody had a chance to catch their breath during that break, because this was an epic one. We start things off in the 11th minute as Gio Calixto, one of the newcomers to the squad, finds Jake Keegan, pops it back to Villalobos, and Jimmy does that against his former club. Edge of the 18, curling strike past a diving Ricardo Jerez. 1-0 through the first half and beyond. Then the 62nd minute, Riley Kraft. Beautiful strike as he tests Peter Swinkles. That tied things 1-1. One Knoxville able to snatch back the lead, though, right here. Callum Johnson, his second goal of the season, both against Chattanooga. 2-1 lead. One Knoxville. Again, a cushion. They were dominating the match for the lion's share of the first hour or so. No questions about it. Especially that first half. Complete dominance. But Chattanooga hung in there. And they earned a PK. Siobhan Marsh, he was the man who went down to the box. He's the man who steps to the spot, and he's the man who tied it at 2. Back-to-back weeks with a penalty kick score. And then at the 82nd minute, it's Omar Gomez, one of the newcomers for Chattanooga, who finds that man Marsh, and Marsh does the rest. Back-to-back matches with a brace for Siobhan Marsh, the Jamaican international, the hero tonight. 3-2 is the final as the Chattanooga Red Wolves claim a dramatic victory. Here's a look back in the match stats. And it is rare to see a shot discrepancy like that. Plus 10 in shots for one Knoxville, yet minus 2 in shots on target. I mean, the metrics would suggest that this should have been one Knoxville's match, but Chattanooga Red Wolves, a tremendous comeback. Full stats brought to you by CGI as they claim it 3-2 the final in a dramatic 90-plus minutes. It ended up being actually longer than 100 minutes. Well, and a huge thank you to all of you for joining us. Big thanks to our fantastic crew. This one lived up to the hype. Chattanooga 3, 1 Knoxville 2. The Red Wolves claim the Smoky Mountain SmackDown series. Again, for all of us, my name is John Gross, saying so long from Knoxville. This has been USL League One action on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.